I got the worst haircut of my life yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, after all this time
After all
of
this time,
waiting.
right? I waited. I didn't cut it myself. And I went and I think I made the mistake of saying that I was like, I kind of, because she said, "Oh my God, it's so long." And I said, I'm okay with it being a little bit longer because this is the first time I've been able to put it up, having a
Right,
ponytail, blah,
right.
blah, blah. And I said, so I just need a little bit taken off the back and, all my layers trimmed up. But what happened was she just stopped layering right here.
Oh, no, like a mullet
A little
kind of thing.
mullety. It's like she didn't take enough off here. She just layered basically right in here. And so these bits stick out, and then there's these long pieces. So I'm like, I'll be wearing a hat for like 2 months, man.
Can you go back and have her cut the bottom a little shorter? Do you want to do that to even
I
it,
did,
or you
I
don't want to?
don't. Well, Gemma did a little hacking to it yesterday. I did a little hacking to it. I don't think anything's gonna help. I just don't think anything's gonna help. It's just a really bad haircut. Never.
Oh, aw,
Yeah, I can't even. I
in
feel like
there.
Jay, I just want to put like towels over all the mirrors in the house. I don't even want to catch a
Oh
glimpse
my
of
God,
it.
like you're sitting Shiva when they put the towels on the
Yeah,
mirrors.
I don't even want to catch a glimpse of the depth of long hair. So it's bad.
Oh,
So
geez, I'm sorry about that.
yeah, it's brutal. So I'm drinking myself into a stupor over it.
There you go. What are you drinking today? Because I have something new to
I got the
share.
keeper.
Oh, I don't know if I could beat that. You've
Yeah, this
got,
was the one that starts in
wow.
Florida and ends in Britain. So
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
smoked honey bourbon.
Wow.
And keeper, because you asked me if you could get this in the States. I did a little
Yeah.
research. I don't. I actually think that you probably could get it in the States, but Keeper is a brand that it's the honey, so they make it's even though they do make the bourbon, they make gin, they make rum, they have all these
Oh,
things that are made with like British ingredients.
oh, with the
Yeah,
honey.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, enjoy that, with your
I will.
haircut.
I will. And look at I've like put such a dent in it. I just got it last Thursday. So between Eurovision and the bad haircut, I'm putting a dent in it.
I've been known to do that myself. And I've got something new for us today. Okay, so I wanted to get that violet drink that you had the last time, the par violet.
Parma
But
Violet, yeah.
I couldn't find it here.
Oh.
So I tried to like emulate it, which doesn't always work out great for me, but I started with this gin. This was recommended by the guy in the store because I told him what I was trying to emulate.
Okay.
It's called Love Eden Mill St. Andrew's Gin.
Okay.
Got this kind of cool top, like the top on a
Yeah,
maple.
yeah.
And it's made with like a floral. It's gin made from flowers. So he said because of that floral taste, it might go very well paired with this creme de violet liqueur.
Okay. So you've
Very,
basically made your own.
I tried to make my own. Yeah, only yours was clear and mine has this pretty purple
Oh
look
no,
to it.
actually, you know what? Mine was purple, but it had it had sparkles in it. So it
Oh,
looked like almost
oh,
purpley silver. Yeah, yeah.
oh, okay. Well, this
But
has got the purple, yeah,
what do
going
you
on.
think when you taste it? Does it taste like the violet candies?
Yeah, I mean, I think yes, I think I have the blend better this time. He didn't know how to tell me in parts how to make
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So I tried it last night and it was a little too much of the purple stuff.
Okay.
So the violet. So I now put a little less of that in. And it does. It has that, it tastes like the Sen gum.
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
the
yeah,
violets.
yeah.
That's
Right.
the violets were the candies.
With the
The
sense
hard
with the
candy,
gum,
and
right?
the second was the gum. And I
Yeah.
remember my friend used to have those because it would cover up smoking. And
Yes.
she didn't want
Yeah.
mom to know that she was smoking. But we used to go out to the discos. So she always had Sensen on her. So I love that. I still look for it. It's hard to find, but it's still out there.
It's true. Oh man.
So that takes us back, right?
Yeah, that
So
really
that
does.
takes us back.
It's to dig
So
in my mom's purse for
cheers to
yeah.
your haircut. Yeah, right.
Hey, thanks. Thanks for
Cheers to
that.
your haircut.
So show 35, and we have managed to land Kristen Baker. Some
Yeah.
people might know her, some people might not, but she has a platform for lesbian content, and she's made sitcoms and movies. And if you remember Bridget McManus talking about Christmas at the Ranch,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
Kristen. She directed and she produces this, and she's got a big announcement because she just launched her own film company,
Wow.
and it was picked up in Variety. So I'm going to let Kristen in to tell us about it.
I love when you hear women doing this kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. There she is. All connected. Can you hear us?
Yep.
There she
Hey.
is.
Hey.
Look at you, like a little executive there in your perfect setting.
Is that what I always wonder what it looks like to people. I'm like, I got a fake tree. I got like a weird thing, like what is that? The treadmill and a bar.
I wouldn't have known that was a treadmill.
Yeah. It's a
I
treadmill.
should have known that, but yeah, exactly. So Kristen, this is my co-host JD Danner.
Hi, JD.
Hello. Nice
I-
to meet you.
I told you about Jay because she's a musician. So
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I specifically put her on your radar. That's what I do. I
Yeah.
push people.
Yes. Yes.
I like that you do that, Denise, and I love what you do, Kristen. I think
Oh,
that
thank you.
it's great. I just said before you came on, it's great to see women doing what you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you are like a workhorse. Like you just take it on, man. Like you take it on, and you power through. And I love that. I love that. I actually, when we have to do the promotion of this podcast, which will go up on Sunday, I'm definitely using the picture of you in action, directing with a coffee in your hand. That's exactly it. That's my vision of you all the time.
That's me. That's me.
I was telling JD a little bit about Tello Films, which is how we first met. When you launched Tello, we did a lot of cross promotion and had a lot of fun with that. But you're on to bigger things.
Little bit. Yeah. Just trying to, climb the mountain.
So you got your own production company? Like I want to make sure, because I read the article and I know I was in such a stupor when I was reading it, so I don't really know how much I processed. So why don't you go ahead and tell us about that?
Yeah. So, I'm really looking to kind of get bigger budgets and be able to go into some like different storytelling verticals. And, Tello, and I love Tello, it will always be, at the heart and foundation of everything that I do is storytelling for our community. It just seemed like if I wanted to kind of broaden what I do, I really needed to kind of start my own production company. And so Intello has some other investors and co-owners, and I just really wanted to have like a very clear, like, this is my thing, this is what I'm doing, kind of movement forward.
And this is great. And do I have this right? You already have like Christmas at the Ranch is in post-production. Is that going through your production?
Yeah, that's a bigger production. Yeah.
And will that be out for our holidays?
It will.
How in God's name do you manage to put together a film in the middle of a pandemic?
Oh my God, it was not easy.
I'm stunned.
Yeah, we did it, and no one tested positive. We didn't have to like do anything like halt production. It was just like, whoo, like the stress. Movie making is hard already. It's very fun, but it's hard. And then just throw a pandemic on it and you're just like,
wow. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. That is crazy. We had Bridget on.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. And she was telling us that she did wardrobe for that, which
she did. She was a godsend, because I was like, normally what you would do is like your wardrobe person would be in town and you would come here and you would do fittings, and then you would go and do what you needed to. But all of my actors coming in were in LA, and you couldn't do like the normal wardrobe session. So I was like, who's a badass mofo who gets shit done and who I can trust with my life? And it was like Bridget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And she was amazing. She was
She
amazing.
said she had to do everything like from her car. Like
She did. Yeah. She was
here's
running
your outfit at
around.
the door, go sit in the car, send pictures.
Yep. Yep.
It was
You
amazing.
find a
Exactly.
way.
Yeah,
You
you
have to
do.
find a
right?
way.
That's-
Yeah.
you're just
And
powering
Bridget's
through.
one of those like problem solving people who's just like full steam ahead, don't say no, figure it out, problem solve. So she was just, yeah, she's amazing.
That's great because you've worked with her like in with her in front of the camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I didn't know that she had a hidden talent here. This is new to me. So
know.
that was pretty cool. But your what I love about what you do too is that your content is just so perfect. Like I remember a time when there just wasn't a place to see, people like ourselves. And
Yeah.
when you created Tello, I think one of my all-time favorites was Roommates with Julie.
Oh yeah. Roomies with
Yeah.
Julie
Roomie.
and Brandy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That had Abby McEnany in it before Abby like went big and has her own TV show.
Wow.
Yeah.
watched Abby.
Oh,
Abby's in that. Yeah. She
yes,
plays
she
Sue
is.
Fox. Mhm.
Yes.
Yep. Abby was just like, she's just amazing. I'm so happy for her.
Yeah,
Is
she's
her
doing
show,
fantastic.
is her show coming back? Do you know if her show's
I
coming
thought
back?
it got a season 2. I think it was probably, put on hold because of the pandemic, but I assume it was just sort of a COVID hold, and that I know it was greenlit. I mean, I know season 2 was greenlit. So
Yeah.
I did. I
yeah.
think I just read an article that they're gonna start, either they've started or they're gonna start filming.
yeah,
Oh,
when you
yeah.
have, smaller budget things, for shows, it just doesn't make sense to push and do it during COVID when you could just really like the small budget's already racked up to a big budget. So I'm sure for like a certain budget threshold, it was just put on hold and said, let's wait until, things clear up.
Right. So
I
what-
relate to Abby a lot with her OCD.
Yeah.
Sorry, just gotta throw that in. I love her character. I don't know if that's how she is in real life, but I love the OCD thing, the bathroom thing, the whole thing. I could like totally relate to that.
There's not I'm sure there's nuanced differences between the two, but that is very much a part of Abby. And she's just like hilarious and lovely and like kind. She's just a wonderful, again, like when good things happen to people like Abby, you're just so excited. You're
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
thank God. Yes. Like you're ridiculously talented and kind and you deserve all the things. Like, yes,
Yeah.
give her more. Yeah.
Yeah, she's something else, man.
Yeah.
But you've got some cool people that you're working with, like
Yeah.
Bionic Woman. First thing.
Lindsay Wagner.
Wow, that's
She's a
awesome.
gem. She's an American
Yeah.
treasure.
Biggest crush of my youth,
Oh.
next to a couple of the Angels, Charlie's Angels, but
Totally.
yeah, I had the Bionic Woman doll and everything. Like it was,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
just part of my childhood. So that's super exciting. Like,
Yeah.
like where do you, seriously, this is gonna sound so raw, but I don't mean it that way, but like where do you get the balls to just like send Lindsay Wagner a script?
You go through your casting director and
Okay.
and her agent, and then they go, well, Lindsay would like to read the script, and you just go like, holy shit, okay, cool. And then you send it on, or they say like, can we send it to her? And then the one that like really kind of gave me pause was when it was like, well, Lindsay would like to get on a phone call and talk about the script with you before she signs on. And I was just like, oh my God. You know what I mean? You're just like, and they're like, like, here's her phone number. And then you're just like, oh my God. Yeah. So
Right.
it's just, it was, and I last time I was in LA, I had lunch with her and met some of her family. She's just lovely. Just again, like she's just such a lovely, lovely woman.
She does seem like a super like warm, Yeah.
Yeah.
like you wouldn't have, I mean, like, yeah, the nerves, but I feel like she would put him at ease like that, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She also, though, you can see like she doesn't take any shit. So like she really just has this, you're just, it's just like mad respect,
Oh,
you know?
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. So what, that one's already in post. Are you already, and so does that mean you're working on something else already or?
Yeah, we have a fourth holiday rom-com that we're hoping to do. It's out to a couple of places. I have a manager now, which is like super super fancy and exciting for me. And so he's reading it. It's called Mary and Gay, and it came through our pitch to production, like way back in 2018 when we first launched it. We picked three scripts that we just absolutely loved. And the third script was Mary and Gay. So that one's kind of going out right now. So we'll see. I haven't started officially fundraising for it yet because I want to see how Christmas at the Ranch does, and I want to, but I'm, I've plenty of time, knock on wood, to get it in the can. But yeah, so still I really feel very passionate to have a holiday rom-com for the community, like each
Yeah,
season. Like I
yeah.
just feel, and then we have some other stuff that's out to different places through a Baker production. So
Tell me a little bit about the documentary that you're doing.
yeah, A League of Our Own. So I was brought in. So I went through a breakup with my girlfriend of like 4.5 years this past October. And we were supposed to, for her birthday, we were supposed to go to Asheville and like go. And I have a cousin over there, and like go to this hot springs outside of it. And then she like literally broke up with me like the day before we were supposed to go. So I was like, okay, well,
Oh,
that trip isn't happening. But my cousin was like, oh, just come out to Asheville anyway, and I was like, okay, that would sound good. So the co-producer on it, who's also a producing friend of mine, I totally forgot, like sends me a photo of, she's like, look how beautiful Asheville is. And I was like, holy crap, I forgot that you're going to be in Asheville. And she was interviewing Kelly McGillis. And I
oh,
was like,
cool.
okay. And she goes, also, we don't know what the F we're doing. Can you like come out here and kind of help us? And I was like, I just happened to be free and without a girlfriend. Like, yes. So it's just like all this like crazy kismet stuff happened. And like after that, like she'd gotten the cameras and the lighting. And so I helped her set it up and like ran all the things and got her an editor. And so it was like after that, we were just like off to the races with this project. So the documentary is all the jumping off point is the 30-year anniversary of this the International Women's Flag Football Association. And they have the Kelly McGillis Classic, where they bring in all the teams from like all across the country and around the world for this big football tournament. So we were interviewing Kelly for it. And then we actually ended up booking an interview with Diana Nyad as well.
Oh,
And
the swimmer.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it really has become, and this woman, Diane, who started the league, has gone to countries like Afghanistan and Pakistan, and has taught women's flag football in these countries where women are automatically sort of a second class citizen. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's really looking at like women empowerment through sports. And so we really sort of trace back like all these different aspects of how women's empowerment really comes through sports. And so we're getting these interviews who've been involved with the organization. And so we did like a short documentary, like a 22-minute one for their 30th anniversary. And then we sent it to one of my people, and he was like, this is incredible. You need to take this and like really spend some time and do like a feature length documentary on this, and like we'll submit it to like Telluride and Toronto and all these film festivals. And so we already sort of have someone who's like interested in repping it, which is so cool. But yeah, it literally sort of came from a breakup. so
Wow.
that I became involved in this
Yeah.
project, and so we came in as a co-production.
Oh, wow. That is such an awesome topic. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. And
so
documentaries are hot right now. Go ahead, Jay.
they are. I was gonna say, when you start a project like this or another, and even starting your own production company, do you need to know ahead of time who your funding, like where your funding is coming from? Or do you just start filming and then put something together, like you just said, and pitch it to someone to see if you can get the funding to complete the whole production?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, there's about as many answers as there are people. So anyone can start like you all could start a production company. You might not have anything, but like you can start a production company and then like, start to like write your own stuff. I think, for me, I don't like to do anything that I don't know where at least some of the funding is coming from. So
right, right,
I don't want to, like, I have 6 scripts, that are in different phases of being written and different, variations of being pitched. But I would never put out there like this project is going to be made, or I would never start talking about it unless I knew where the funding comes from. Now that's not
right,
everyone. There are some people who will talk about their projects when they're in the middle of writing them, and then they'll go, "Oh, I'm in the middle of writing this and I'm super passionate about it and blah blah blah," and then they don't make it for another 3 years, but they're still sort
right.
of like talking about it or having someone read it or rewriting it, and they're pitching it here. And I just don't really love to do that until I know when it's going to be made.
I agree.
That's
I
smart.
agree. I
Yeah.
mean, I was in a documentary, it's been so many years now. I was just one of the people in it for musicians that play in South Florida. And it just never really came to happen. And it just
Yeah.
seemed, oh, this is so exciting. It's going to be, but you're right. When you talk about it too much before you have kind of everything, especially the funding in place.
Yeah.
So it seems to me like I admire so much what you do, because it's a bold move, in my opinion, to write something. But you also, like, I would be in the same frame of mind of your frame of mind, is making sure you have something to back that up to make it happen. Because
Yeah,
if you talk about it too much and then it never happens, it's like, then what are you going to talk about your next one? Like, no one's going to pay attention to you because you never got that other one
Right.
off the ground.
Right.
Exactly.
So-
Exactly. And this town is so, this industry is so crazy. Like you have something that all of a sudden looks like it's going to go and looks like it's going to happen, and then some weird thing it's pulled out, and then so it's like, it's almost like until I know that there's a date that the cameras are going to be up, I don't love to talk about it. I mean, I do think documentaries are a little different than scripted things. And
Mhm,
so
mhm.
for a league of our own, we have a small sizzle reel that, and the purpose of it was for this 30-year anniversary thing. So like the first iteration of it is complete. We just feel like there needs to be a bigger audience and it's a greater story to tell. So
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
and we have enough stuff sort of like in the can that right now we're just trying to schedule interviews with people. So we have the funding, but it's going to take a little bit just to kind of schedule the interviews that we need.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You wear a lot of different hats. Like I was at that Lexicon thing with you in London, and you
Oh,
were
yeah.
on every panel. He's like, I could pass Christin in the lobby, just buzzing off to another room. But it's just because like you're like a wealth of information,
Mm.
and I think the cool part is that, like Jay and I, we were talking about script writing, like because we're always bouncing ideas and stuff, like talking about stuff all the time. And she's like, we should do it. And I'm like, like I showed Kristen something that I wrote. She's like, oh, first of all, you got to get this screenplay for me. Second of all, you got to write more than 5
Finish
pages.
first, right? You have to have the ending,
Yeah,
beginning and the middle and the end. Yeah.
I know, like I take off like a bat out of hell, and then I go, yeah. He wants to work together. I'm like, nah, you really don't want that, trust me. But
I've kind of done that with my music. Like, I've boldly done things that I didn't know if it was going to happen, but I like when I got to play for the Indianapolis Colts. Well, no, that was something else. When I got to play at Guantanamo Bay,
Holy crap.
I was doing a homeland tour, performing at military bases during the holidays, to perform for our troops that were stateside and military families. And I was doing, usually it was mostly Army, Air Force, but I also did some Navy bases. And every time I visit a base, there'd be a girl that was just there before me, and they would be talking about her and whatever. And I had not heard of her, but she was young and she was upcoming. And so I read where she was going to be playing at Guantanamo Bay. And I'm like, God, I'd like to play at Guantanamo Bay, but I don't know how to get there or what do you do? But I'm like, well, she was playing at all the same places I was before this. So let me call Guantanamo Bay. And I just boldly picked up the phone and called a number for Guantanamo Bay, the number on the website, and ended up getting a Memorial Day show. They were like, oh, sure, we need a band for Memorial Day.
Oh my
We're
God.
having a 3-day thing for the people over here, the guys over here. And I'm like, okay. And I only had 6 weeks and I did not have a band at that point. I was playing solo.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I was touring solo acoustic, and I was like, I took it anyway, but it took me a while to get it took me scrambling to get a band together in 6 weeks, because they had to take off of work because it went beyond Memorial Day. They flew us there in these tiny little planes. But the point is sometimes you have to make that bold jump.
Yeah.
Just because you think you want to do it, but you kind of have to have the whole thing in place. And that's one of the times I didn't have a band because I didn't think they were going to say 6 weeks. I thought they'd say 6 months from now or something, Sure, we need somebody for Memorial Day. And then here it is, like, April. And I'm like, okay. But sometimes you got to take it. Like, I knew if I didn't take it, I might never get to go there because they'll have other bands, or they were starting to have unrest in the prisons at that point. That's when it first started with the hunger strikes and everything. So I'm like, if I don't take this now, I may never get to go. I'll get a band. And I just accepted it. So I kind of get that too. Like, you don't always have the whole puzzle, but you got to try,
But don't you feel like was there any part of you that was like, I booked this, which means I'm going to find the band, like it's going to all work out. Like, didn't you have that like ultimate, like,
yes,
okay, like
Now
this is going to happen. I don't know how I'm going to work. I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like,
I'll tell you,
Exactly.
I equate this with like, this is why you don't go on Facebook and put, all right, man, I'm starting a diet on Monday. Because you're stuck having to follow through with it if you put it out there. So
yeah.
Well, what happened? Once I had that in place and I had the contracts and I knew I had to do this, you're right. You have to make it happen then.
yeah.
And so I did. So, by the grace of God, everything came together and I made that, I put a band together. It wasn't necessarily the perfect band of my choice because it wasn't the guys I had worked with in the past, because they were all busy doing other things for Memorial Day because it was only 6 weeks away. But I took the thing and you know what? I will never regret that, because I don't know that I'll ever get to go back there. Things have changed so much. They're not bringing bands there now.
Sure.
And so, yeah, like sometimes you just have to take that bold move and just do it and say, I don't know how I'm going to get this done. But once you, like you said, Christin, once you make that commitment that it's your thing, you have to make it happen somehow. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I know I signed like when I was working on my book, I finally got a publisher, and they hit me with like a 3-book deal. And I was like, sure. It was 1 book. Sure. 3. Yeah, no problem. And a year, you got it. No problem. But yeah, I had the contract. I had to honor it. So I did it in 6 months.
See, there you go.
Move.
But yeah. But see, that's like pedal to the metal. And I feel like those things only happen a few times in life.
Right. I mean, who anyone would love 1 book deal and they like gave you 3. And so like, you know what I mean? It's like they wouldn't, the universe wouldn't offer that to you if you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, so you just have to go like, all right, I gotta like get this done, because like, you know, they're not gonna say yes to a concert at Gitmo if
Yeah.
you can't do it. Like if the
Right.
universe doesn't offer that to you if you can't do it. Like,
I
That is
like that.
definitely-
Yeah.
That's definitely the way to look at it. And, you know, these, you know, putting together a band and playing Gitmo is huge. Getting a book deal is huge, but launching a production company
Yeah,
and,
that's
and actually having films, like that's like out of our realm. You know what I'm saying? So
that's bigger and bolder, way bigger
you're
and
very
bolder.
kind.
Lindsay
You're
Wagner.
very kind. Yeah.
Lindsay Wagner. Let's not forget that part. But no, you've actually had worked with like really cool people.
Oh, I've been like,
Laura Allen?
it's, oh man, it's just been, yeah, people that should not be working with me. I mean, it's sort of like,
Come
I'm
on.
like, don't tell, like, I'm like, don't tell them that they're like, I'm a little small, like, you know, but yeah, like, you know, it's just, I've been, you know, Marina Sirtis, who was in Star Trek Next Generation, Connor Trenier, you know, Armin Shimmerman, Liz Vassy, you know, from CSI, and then
Christine
we
Clark.
got
Yeah, like we all know.
Christina.
Yeah.
Yeah, Better Than Chocolate. You know, it's
Yep.
like
Yeah.
actually Janina Gavankar was also in that, who's like Meghan Markle's like one of her best friends. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, holy crap,
Yes.
that's Janina. So,
She's so
yeah,
cool
it's just
too,
like
man.
crazy.
She's a blast. We had her
Oh,
on our show, and she was at this. This is back when Don and I were doing a lesbian lounge, and I don't.
Oh,
know.
when she was in the L Word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know how we got her. Like, I don't even remember how that even manifested, but she called in from her mother's house, and they were playing musical instruments like the marimba and the cymbals, her and her mom. And it was just like me
Oh
looking
my
at Donna like,
gosh.
this took a weird turn.
That's
We were talking about the
hilarious.
L Word, and then all of a sudden they started playing instruments, and we were like, just go with it. Just go with it, man.
Yeah.
She's
She'll like, I
super
have her
talented.
number in my phone, her cell number, which it's so all these like notifications will come up every night. I mean, I don't know if she would remember me, but it's just sort of funny
Sure.
that like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like so and so is on bloody blah, and I'm just like, how do I? Oh, that's right. Yeah, she's in my phone. So it just
Yeah.
yeah. So there's you know, and then you know, working with Dom Provo Chockley from you know, Winona Earp and Emily Goss and
Oh
Jessica
my God,
Clark,
that's a
you know.
phenomenon. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Jessica's amazing. You know, I mean, I'm just like Amanda Rigetti, who is in The Mentalist for, you know, you know, main person there. Yeah, so you just sort of, you're like, oh my God, like, okay, cool,
But
cool, cool. You know, I
that's a
just have to put
testament
my
to the
like,
quality of the stuff that you're doing, because these people wouldn't
Right.
attach themselves to
you.
it. So
Exactly.
yeah,
that's
yeah.
like
And the
huge.
universe sent them to you. So
Oh, they
the
absolutely
universe
did,
did think,
JD.
you
They
know,
absolutely, yes. I have a very powerful production goddess,
Yeah.
and
you need that.
she brings people, and I, you know, stuff happens at the I should mention too, like, I don't want to, like, Candace Kane and Dia
Oh,
Frampton and Ashley Argota, like all the people who are in like I Hate New York. I mean, I'm just, yeah, so but it's my production goddess, and she's really powerful, and I just trust her, and she brings me people like Lindsay Wagner, and you just go like, I don't know how this happened, but I will accept
right.
this.
Right.
Thank you very much.
That's huge. Oh God, Candace Kane, I love her. Famous.
Oh, she's fantastic. Well, actually, one of the projects we're working on is a show with Candace, a gardening show. She is an avid gardener. And so
Really?
she has this ridiculous backyard, and I was over there with I'd visited we were asking her for something to be on Brunch Date, which is on Tello.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Free. And so I was like, I had visited her one time, and we had just kind of gotten caught up, and I was like, your garden is amazing. So I told my producing partner, I was like, well, let's go out to Candace's. So I hit Candace up. I was like, hey, we want to ask, you know, get you to be on the show. And we're sitting there, and we were like, and she was just describing her backyard. And I just looked at her and I go, we need to do a gardening show. And everyone was like, yes. So it's called Candace Kane's Secret Garden. We've done a pilot.
Perfect.
Yeah, we did a pilot that's being cut together, and then we're gonna do like 10 more episodes. But she's just like this amazing gardener. And
I
so
would watch this.
Wow.
Like I would.
right?
Watch this. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it was, she's amazing. It was so fun.
I'm so excited because like 2 flowers bloomed in my backyard. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Everyone got into gardening during COVID.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. I never do shit. And then last summer I was out there prepping and everything.
Exactly. So yeah, so we're gonna get Candace. So yeah, that's one of the things on on the production
Oh,
list.
man, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
What a lineup, man.
Yeah,
What a
yeah.
lineup. So
Exciting stuff.
for the films and stuff, we just have to wait till they come out, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But for the tello content, that's always there.
Always there.
Always
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
So that's
Subscription.
fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good
yeah.
to know. Perfect. And is your goal like to have things released in theaters, or will they be streaming or online or Netflix, Amazon, that kind of thing?
Yeah, so we have a movie that we've pitched to Amazon right now, so they're sitting with it. That and they kind of have potentially have a theatrical, so they'll go theatrical and then on their platform. So we'll see. Yes, like we have, we actually have run numbers for a vertical for theatrical. I think the theatrical experience is super important.
Especially
I
now,
think there's
now that you can't do
yeah,
it again. Yeah.
exactly. And I think for our community too, like it can be really important to have a gathering place that we can watch our stories as a collective. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
people have watch parties all the time. Like we had a lot of people who had watch parties for Season of Love,
Yeah.
but there was just something about that like in theater experience that I think is like really critical. So we always want to try to have that in mind if at all possible.
Well, you put it out there, so I'm guessing it's gonna happen.
There you go.
Production goddess.
That's right. There you go.
This is the way that
There
things
you go.
work around.
I'll send a GIF anytime my casting director, because if we lose someone or if there's a weird pivot, she'll be like, "You're a production goddess," and I send her there's a GIF of Beyonce like at her Coachella concert where she's like all in gold. If you just look up goddess, that's one of the first ones. That's what I said. This is my production goddess. This is what she looks like. It's Beyonce, like all in gold,
Oh,
like
that's
being.
so
She'll be like, "Oh, you're production goddess," and I'll just be like, send her the GIF, and it's
yeah.
and there she is. There she is, blessing
Excellent.
us.
So
making
now
us
I take
turn.
it you're going to be too busy to come for the Rain Dance Festival over here, like when they have it again.
Oh gosh, are they going to do it?
Well, I think 2022.
Yeah, I used to do like that Web Fest, like every year, but I think they canceled the Web Fest part of it.
Oh,
So
so it's just okay.
yeah, I mean, listen, London is like one of my happy places. I try to
Yeah.
get to London at least once a year. In fact, I just booked a ticket. I'm going to Cannes in July, and I always fly through Heathrow because like LA to Heathrow is the best. And so I'll be over there, and so I might spend a couple days in London on my before my trip back. So
you know where to hang.
I do.
I like when Christin visits because she has no expectations. She just like gets up in the morning. She's like, "Okay, see you later. I'm out." And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't have to take her to Brighton. Oh God, I'm so glad I have to take her into London." She just like goes and does her own thing. Yep. Yeah, it's been fantastic.
Self-sufficient guest.
She doesn't mind the cat, so it works out well.
Yeah, it's fine. We're good.
Well, listen, my friend, it was fantastic seeing you.
Oh, good to
Great
see you
meeting
too.
you.
Nice to meet you too, JD. Yeah, good luck with the music.
We're gonna
Thank
let
you.
you get back to work, and we don't want to hold you up. Keep making our content for us.
We'll do.
It's been great seeing you. And
Tell Gemma I said hey.
I will. She's already upstairs.
I'm sure. All right. Good to
Take
see
it
y'all. Have a
easy.
good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Take care.